All right. Well, congratulations. You decided to go on this journey. I'm more than happy to guide you along the way. First stop here is going to be RADiCAL. You want to actually rent it. You rent it online. And what you're going to end up doing is taking your footage, your camera footage, and you actually upload it into their site. You have an account, and then it will actually transform it into a three-dimensional movement file that you actually download, and then you can put on your character. I love their website to be able to see where your footage is, to organize your footage, to upload it, to then see a rendered out. It's kind of a previs render of, you see side by side your footage that you uploaded with the three-dimensional model moving. You can actually interact with it, move around a little bit, but really see if you like it or not. And this is a tremendous part of the learning process, especially for the kids, so that they can decide, okay, that wasn't quite what I wanted, or it's moving a little slow and a little fast. I'm going to try it again. If you're happy with it, you can actually just hit download the file. Now, I will say I highly recommend reading. I think RADiCAL's done an amazing job at writing out some limits or some ideas on how to shoot the footage properly to get the best results. Read the paragraph, nothing wrong doing a little bit of homework, but at the end of the day, it's not too complicated and the kids really get into it pretty quickly, okay? I'm excited to introduce Audrey. She's a student who actually has a drama and theater background. She's a high schooler right now, but she was a middle schooler at the time when we started. And what's exciting is that she comes more from a theatrical background, and she's coming in with her knowledge of acting. And she's amazed how much RADiCAL has really been easy and fun to use for her. And it's amazing that now she's taking all of that experience from acting, but then suddenly those movements are getting transferred onto the animated character. I thought what an amazing time to have Audrey actually explain with her and her team how they use RADiCAL, and then also what they've kind of learned what to do, what not to do, and some limits or some boundaries they've set up so that they can actually get the best results possible out of RADiCAL. So here is Audrey.
I'm Audrey. I'm an intern at Project Spark Studio. Before we used RADiCAL, we used this for our motion captures and did everything in slow motion. But no more. Now, we use RADiCAL and it's wires free. This is our environment. It's one of the most crucial parts to our motion capture experience. We have our volume, our marker, and of course, the backdrop. We have this in the background of our scenes because it's a real time saver from having someone walk into the shot and back out. We also keep track of the scene, part of the scene, and which character is being played. We made our volume about this size because when using RADiCAL, you have to stay in the frame. This is about the size that works best with RADiCAL. Our backdrop is a solid color because the camera can track the actor more easily. It doesn't have to be green, but that's what we ended up with. This is where we shoot our captures from. Before we start the video, we move down the contrast so that we can see the whiteboard from all the way over here. We've discovered several things that don't work so well with RADiCAL. For instance, you can't cross your arms, you can't kneel on the ground, and you most certainly can't fall over. With RADiCAL being a markerless motion detector, we like to use a T-pose before and after each of our shots so that our characters are lined up properly. This is a GoPro helmet we use for facial captures, but we don't cover that in this series.
All right, well, thank you, Audrey. You've done an amazing job. I'm just really so amazed at what students can do. I'm excited to see what other Audreys are out there as you guys get this opportunity to use it in your classrooms. It's amazing. There's certain kids that may not be necessarily the ones that want to sit at a computer or, this idea that they're just going to be animating very slowly over time, but suddenly their kinematic movement, their ability to act and to be dynamic is a big part of this process, and suddenly they're a valuable part of the team. So see what you guys do. We're now going to move on to actually how to get that movement file onto a character. That's the next episode. All right, good job.